Chile's coast is wild, as it is filled with crashing waves, steep cliffs, and Playa Luna, which is the only nude beach in the country. People strip down here, feeling free under the sun with sand between their toes. What's it like to join them, standing bare with the Pacific thundering and the Andes watching? This video takes you to Playa Luna, where freedom feels raw. We'll also hit Chile's spicy food, bold wines, vast deserts, snowy peaks, vibrant women, and loud festivals. Plus, we'll break down what it costs to live here. It's a real journey through Chile's heart. Stay tuned, as Playa Luna's got a secret that'll hit you hard. Living in Chile. Chile's lifestyle blends city energy with raw nature. In Santiago, renting a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs $500 to $800 a month. In the suburbs, prices drop to $350 to $500. Coastal towns like Valparaiso have rentals as low as $300. Perfect for beach lovers. Food stays cheap. A restaurant meal runs $8 to $12, and a completo, a hot dog with avocado and tomato, costs $2. Local markets make groceries affordable. $200 a month covers fresh produce for one. Chile's economy is strong, with a 5% GDP growth in 2024. But inequality sparks protests, like the 2019 unrest that shook Santiago. Earthquakes are frequent, with 12 minor tremors in the capital last year. Buildings are built tough, but the shakes unsettle newcomers. Public transport is reliable and cheap. Santiago's metro costs 80 cents per ride, and a monthly pass is $45. Taxis charge $5 for a 5-kilometer trip. Healthcare ranks 33rd globally, but private care needs insurance, costing $65 to $200 monthly. The internet is $25 a month, and utilities like electricity and water average $80. Jobs can be hard. Minimum wage is $450 monthly, pushing many to remote work for better pay. Visas are simple for tourists, with 90 days, free for over 90 countries, but work visas require a job offer and take 6 weeks. Chilean Spanish is fast, with slang like po for emphasis, tripping up even fluent speakers. Crime is low, with Chile ranking among South America's safest countries. The mix of vibrant cities, snowy peaks, and beaches like Playa Luna draws people to stay. Ever dreamed of living by the Pacific? Comment below. That's life in Chile. But what about its wild parties? Now let's uncover the festivals that make Chile explode with life. Culture and festivals. Chile's festivals burst with life. Turning streets into a whirlwind of color and sound. Every September 18th and 19th, Fiestas Patrias celebrates Chile's independence. Over 70% of Chileans join the party, grilling asados and dancing cueca, a flirty folk dance with handkerchiefs. Fondas, festival tents, pop up everywhere serving empanadas and chicha, a sweet fermented drink. In 2024, Santiago's fondas drew 500,000 people. The air smells of charcoal and music pumps non-stop. But it's not just about fun. These days honor Chile's 1810 break from Spain, a fight that lasted 8 years. Locals say the energy feels electric, but what happens when the crowd gets too wild? Then there's Fiesta de la Tirana, held July 16th in the northern desert. Over 200,000 pilgrims flood the tiny town of La Tirana to honor the Virgen del Carmen. Dancers in devil masks perform the Diablada, a mix of Catholic and indigenous Aymara traditions. The costumes, glittering with sequins, weigh up to 20 pounds. In 2023, 250 dance troupes joined, each practicing for months. The desert heat hits 85 degrees Fahrenheit, yet the dancing never stops. This festival started in the 1500s, blending faiths under Spanish rule. Ever seen a devil dance under a blazing sun? Drop a comment below. Viña del Mar's International Song Festival, held in late February, is Latin America's biggest music event. Since 1960, it's hosted stars like Shakira and Luis Miguel. In 2024, 15,000 fans packed the Quinta Vergara Amphitheater nightly for 6 days. Tickets start at $30, but scalpers charge triple. The event generates $10 million for the city. Performers compete in pop and folk categories, with winners chosen by public vote. The vibe is wild, but security's tight after a 2019 stage rush. Chilean Spanish fuels this cultural pulse. It's fast, with slang like al tiro, meaning right now. About 18 million Chileans speak it, but outsiders struggle to keep up. The Mapuche, Chile's largest indigenous group at 1.7 million, add words like merquén, a smoky spice, to the mix. Festivals showcase this diversity from northern deserts to southern fjords. Carnaval Andino con la Fuerza del Sol in Arica draws 10,000 dancers from Chile, Peru, and Bolivia. Their costumes, bright as the Atacama sun, tell stories of Andean gods. These events aren't just parties, they're Chile's soul laid bare. But what makes them so unstoppable? That's Chile's festival scene, but who brings this energy to life every day? Now let's meet the women who make Chile's spirit shine. The radiant beauty of Chilean women. Chile's women light up the country with strength and style. Along the 4,000-mile coastline, they dive into the Pacific, surfboards in hand. In Pichilemu, a surf town, women like Trinidad Segura, a 6-time national champion, rule the waves. Surfing grew 20% among Chilean women from 2015 to 2024, with 5,000 now hitting the breaks yearly. The sport builds confidence and keeps them fit, but it's risky. Strong currents cause dozens of rescues each summer. At Playa Luna, Chile's only nude beach, women embrace freedom, swimming and playing volleyball without judgment. The beach's strict respect rule, banning photos without consent, keeps it safe. Ever felt that kind of bold freedom? Comment below. Beyond the coast, women shape Chile's culture. In Santiago, they run markets, selling fresh empanadas and merquén, a Mapuche spice used in 80% of southern dishes. The Mapuche, Chile's largest indigenous group at 1.7 million, inspires women like Rosa Quinchaleo, who leads coastal conservation. Her group, Mujeres del Mar, trains 300 women yearly in sustainable fishing, protecting marine life while earning $500 monthly. This work supports 15% of Chile's coastal economy. Their efforts keep beaches like Playa Luna pristine, but rising sea levels threaten 10% of the coast by 2030. Women also shine at festivals. During Fiestas Patrias, they lead cueca dances, twirling handkerchiefs in front of thousands. In 2024, 60% of cueca dancers were women, up from 40% a decade ago. Fashion reflects their vibe. On Viña del Mar's beaches, women wear bright bikinis or sleek one-pieces, often with light cover-ups for cool evenings. A typical bikini costs $20, affordable for most. This practical style suits Chile's mild 70-degree Fahrenheit coastal climate. But it's not just looks. Women like Paloma Santos, a surfer and activist, push for clean oceans. Her 2023 campaign removed 2 tons of plastic from Pichilemu's shores. Their energy isn't just physical, it's mental toughness. Many juggle work, family, and activism, with 65% of Chilean women in the workforce, higher than the South American average of 50%. Yet they face challenges. The gender pay gap sits at 15%, and rural women earn 30% less than men. Their spirit ties to Chile's land. From Atacama's deserts to Patagonia's peaks, women carry a fierce pride. They're not just part of the culture, they drive it. But what makes their strength so unstoppable? That's the power of Chilean women. But what about the land that shapes them? Now let's explore the wild landscapes that make Chile a traveler's dream. If you're loving this video, hit that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts. What's your favorite part of Chile so far? Let's hear it. Nature and travel. Chile's landscapes hit like a shockwave. The Atacama Desert, the driest place on Earth, gets just 0.04 inches of rain yearly. Its Valley of the Moon has sand dunes and salt flats that glow pink at sunset. In 2024, 1.2 million tourists visited, drawn by geysers erupting at 15,000 feet. At night, the skies are so clear that Chile hosts 70% of the world's telescopes. Stargazing tours cost $50, but spotting the Milky Way feels priceless. Ever stared at a sky that bright? Comment below. Then there's Patagonia's Torres del Paine National Park. Its granite peaks tower over glaciers and turquoise lakes. The W Trek, a 50-mile hike, takes 5 days and sees 80,000 hikers yearly. But avalanches close trails yearly, keeping rangers on edge. Rapa Nui, or Easter Island, sits 2,200 miles off the coast. The 887 Moai statues carved 800 years ago weigh up to 80 tons each. Tourists, 120,000 in 2024, cycle past them, but erosion threatens 10% of the statues by 2030. The island's volcanic craters and 75 degrees Fahrenheit climate make it a trekker's dream. Closer to the mainland, the Lake District's Osorno volcano looms at 8,700 feet. Kayakers paddle its emerald lakes, but sudden storms capsize boats yearly. Chile's 4,300-kilometer coastline hides penguin colonies near Viña del Mar, where tours cost $30. Whale watching off Chiloé Island draws 15,000 visitors annually, with humpbacks breaching from December to March. The country's 300 volcanoes, 40 of which are active like Villarrica, erupt every few years, thrilling climbers but sparking evacuations. Chile's fjords in the south stretch over 1,000 miles and are home to seals and dolphins. Ferries navigate these channels for $100, but rough seas test even seasoned sailors. The Alluring Andino National Park protects 2,000-year-old trees, some 150 feet tall. Only 20,000 visitors explore it yearly due to its remote trails. Chile's geography, from deserts to icy fjords, spans 38 climates, more than any country. This diversity drives 5 million tourists annually, boosting the economy by $2 billion. But climate change raises sea levels, flooding 5% of coastal trails like those near Playa Luna. What secrets does this land still hold? That's Chile's wild terrain, but what about the food that fuels these adventures? Now let's taste the dishes that keep Chile's travelers coming back. Chilean Cuisine. Chile's food grabs you by the taste buds. Start with asado, a barbecue tradition where beef and pork sizzle over open flames. Over 60% of Chilean households fire up grills weekly, especially during summer. A single asado plate, piled with steak and sausages, costs $10 at local spots. Then there's cazuela, a hearty stew of chicken, potatoes, and corn. In 2024, Santiago's restaurant served 2 million bowls, warming diners in the 50-degree Fahrenheit winter. The dish dates back to indigenous Mapuche recipes, blended with Spanish flavors from the 1500s. But what happens when you bite into something this old? Ever tried a stew that ancient? Comment below. Seafood rules the coast. Ceviche, raw fish marinated in lemon juice, packs a zesty punch. Chile's 4,000-mile coastline supplies 1.5 million tons of fish yearly, making ceviche a staple at $8 a plate. Machas a la parmesana. Razor clams baked with cheese sell out fast in Viña del Mar. In 2023, 300,000 servings were dished up there. Pastel de choclo, a corn pie with beef and onions, traces to colonial times and feeds 80% of Southern families weekly. It's cheap at $5, but oven hot, it burns if you're not careful. Mote con huesillo, a sweet peach drink with wheat, cools you down for $2. Vendors sold 500,000 cups in Santiago last summer. Chile's cuisine leans on fresh ingredients. The Central Valley grows 70% of the country's vegetables, like the tomatoes in pebre, a spicy salsa paired with bread. Merquén, a Mapuche chili spice, heats up 90% of southern dishes. Food ties people together. Once a daily tea time sees 85% of Chileans sharing pastries like sopaipillas, fried dough costing $1. In coastal towns, women like those in Mujeres del Mar harvest 10 tons of seaweed yearly for snacks, boosting sustainability. But processed junk is creeping in, with obesity rates hitting 30% in 2024. Chefs fight back, reviving old recipes with modern twists like seaweed empanadas. These dishes aren't just food, they're Chile's history on a plate. What's the one dish you'd try first? That's the taste of Chile, but what about the drink that defines it? Now let's sip on the wines that fuel Chile's soul. Wine, the soul of Chile. Chile's wines tell a story of land and passion. In the 1500s, Spanish settlers planted the first vines for church wine. By the 1800s, French grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon and Carmenere arrived, sparking a boom. Today, Chile exports 800 million liters yearly, ranking 5th globally. The Maipo Valley, near Santiago, produces bold Cabernet Sauvignon, with 10,000 hectares of vines yielding 30% of Chile's reds. Colchagua Valley, further south, grows Malbec and Syrah, winning 20 international awards in 2024. But what happens when you sip a glass from these valleys? Ever tasted wine that bold? Comment below. The land makes magic. Chile's 4,300-kilometer stretch between the Andes and Pacific creates perfect growing conditions. Cool ocean breezes and mountain water feed 70,000 hectares of vineyards. Limeri Valley's coastal fog crafts crisp Chardonnay, with 5,000 tons harvested yearly. Elqui Valley, at 6,500 feet, makes Pisco, Chile's famous grape brandy, with 2 million liters produced in 2024. Sustainability drives the industry. 60% of wineries use solar power, cutting emissions by 15% since 2020. But climate change is threatening, with droughts hitting 10% of vineyards last year. Wine tours pull in 500,000 visitors annually, costing $40 for a day of tastings. In Maipo, you walk rows of vines, glass in hand, as the Andes loom. Colchagua's wine train, a 1920s locomotive, chugs past 12 wineries for $60. Pair a Carmenere with empanadas, and the flavors explode. In 2023, wine tourism added $200 million to Chile's economy. But there's a catch. Some tours get crowded with waits up to an hour. Locals in Casablanca Valley started small tastings in 2010, serving 50,000 visitors yearly at family-run vineyards. These intimate spots feel like secrets, but they're booking fast. Chile's wines stand tall globally. In blind tastings, they beat French labels 40% of the time. A bottle of top Maipo Cabernet costs $15, half the price of similar European wines. Carmenere, once thought extinct in France, thrives here, with 8,000 hectares planted. The industry employs 100,000 people, but small growers struggle, earning 20% less than corporate farms. Still, every glass carries Chile's heart. Sun-soaked valleys, cool nights, and centuries of craft. What's the one wine you'd pick? That's the fire in Chile's wines, but what about a beach where freedom runs wild? Now let's uncover the raw energy of Playa Luna's nude shores. Playa Luna, Chile's only nude beach, Playa Luna, sits in the Valparaiso region, 28 kilometers north of Concon. This 500-meter stretch of sand, hugged by cliffs and native vegetation, draws 5,000 visitors every summer. Back in the 1960s, hippies gathered here seeking freedom. By the 1990s, development pushed nudists from nearby Caucao Beach, so René Rojas, a photographer, organized the first national nudist meeting in 2000. A year later, a judge ruled nudism legal here, making it Chile's only official nude beach. The name Playa Luna comes from Rojas's nudist group, the Playa Luna Club. But what's it like to strip down under these cliffs? Ever felt the rush of total freedom? Comment below. Getting there isn't easy. Drive the F30E route to kilometer 50, near Quiraluca, and park for 1,200 pesos per hour, up to 6,000 pesos daily. Then hike 20 minutes down a rocky path. Walking 5 kilometers from Caleta Horcon is riskier now due to rising sea levels. The beach stays quiet with no music or loud noise allowed, keeping the vibe calm. It's a sanctuary for marine birds, with 20 species like pelicans nesting nearby. Visitors aged 20 to 70, mostly 35 to 50, spread out naturally. Men to the north, couples and women in the center, and fewer at the south end where rocks make swimming tough. Nudity isn't mandatory, but most go bare, embracing body positivity. In 2024, 60% of visitors were Chilean, the rest international, including Argentinians and Europeans. The beach's rules are strict. No photos without consent, no sexual behavior. Yoga and meditation groups meet regularly, with 10 sessions hosted monthly. Theft has been an issue. 10 cases reported in 2023, so keep bags close. The water's cold, around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and riptides are a danger with no lifeguards on duty. Still, 80% of TripAdvisor reviews in 2024 called it calm and unique. Playa Luna hosts small events like art shows and low-key music nights, shared via Instagram. In February 2024, 200 people joined a sunset gathering with acoustic guitars. The beach's crescent shape and cliff backdrop make it stunning, but litter can pile up late in the season, with 5% of visitors leaving trash. The Playa Luna Club pushes cleanup drives, collecting 1 ton of waste yearly. Only 39 countries have nude beaches, and Chile's one stands out in South America. Its mix of nature and freedom pulls people back, but some leave spooked by curious onlookers. What's the wildest beach you've ever visited? We've reached the end of this video. If you loved it, like and subscribe to the channel for more. Comment your favorite Chilean experience below. What's calling you back? Let's hear it.